Kiki ma. We are back to the Masters of Horror. This is the Cult Film Showdown. I am James Cotta, and I'm joined by two of my intrepid explorers into horror film, Nick Boxer.
Hello. Explorer, that sounds much too active for me. Voyeur of the unknown.
I like that. Voyeur. I bet you no one's trademarked that.
I am not leaving the freaking house.
Voyeur of the unknown.
All right. I wasn't going to try.
Voyeur of the unknown. That's damn. I love that. That'd be a great title for a Masters of Horror episode. Also, Jack Hall is here.
Yeah. I will be serving just kind of as your second, your corner man, your manager. I'll be largely out of the way this time. Let you guys carry it, and I'll just be there giving you that moral support you need to make the best podcast possible.
Are you? Do you have a towel ready if you need to call the podcast recording?
Yeah. No. If I find you guys aren't doing well, if it looks like you're in trouble, I'll send us home early.
You gotta quit, Rock. You gotta quit.
What are you? Oh, he's getting tired. I know what I'm doing. Getting tired.
Give me a cut me.
Yeah, he's getting tired. That's it. Yeah. What I'm doing. That's the one that's a little rusty.
Give me a cut my eye. Give me one of those.
Cut my eye. What?
Hey, wait a minute, you're Rock. The corner man. Shouldn't you be doing like
should do Burgess
Meredith, not Stallone?
Yeah, give him a Rocky thing. Hit the one in the middle. I've seen three. Hit the one in the middle. That's my favorite.
God, he was great. All right, Masters of Horror. We're on season 2, episode 3. So well into the back half, and this episode aired on the 10th of November of 2006. This was a series that ran from 2005 to 2007. Roughly an hour, and ran on Showtime, was it?
Yes, Showtime.
Showtime. And
Showtime.
And as such, was a mature audience's show. So some of these can get them, tuck the kids in early for most of these episodes. And they're just going to watch them on YouTube later, so don't worry about it. So
wait,
this episode,
the way you said that made it sound like this one has nudity. That is not the case.
I mean, we've never seen a dry spell like this in this series. 2 episodes in a row without nudity. The last episode was Landis, and we had no nudity. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, Landis is a little bit of a horn dog. There's always a couple shots.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It is surprising. But speaking of the Masters, who are they in this episode? There, Jack?
Well, I mean, it's written by our common creator, writer, director of the series. We see Mick Garris's, not Nick, sorry. Mick Garris's name multiple times already because he's the producer of the show, creator of the show. He's written multiple episodes of this and directed one, and I'm sure he shows up. I'm sure we'll see his name again. As far as his horror background, best known for adapting, things like The Stand, 1994 TV miniseries, and the 1997, I think it was, Stephen King's The Shining, Riding the Bullet. Just a lot of Stephen King work. Sleepwalkers, another one he did. So, a strong historian of horror film is really what he is probably best known for today. He's the chapter of, I think, the board of the Hollywood Horror Museum, member of the board of advisors of the Hollywood Horror Museum today, and has a horror podcast called Postmortem. It's on the Blumhouse Podcast Network, or Bloomhouse, I guess it is. So that's Mick Garris. Ernest Dickerson is the director, cinematographer for Spike Lee for an awful long time, including films like Do the Right Thing and Malcolm X. Went on to direct films like Demon Knight, Juice, Bulletproof, Bones, with Snoop Dogg, which is a must-watch if you haven't seen it. The Wire, he directed all of episode or season 2. I think he won an Emmy Award for that. He's directed multiple episodes of The Walking Dead. This is a really good get for them, a really big, a big name within the, and well respected within the horror world and the director world. It gives, I'm not saying they haven't had big names before, but this is a guy who is, often those names are for the fans. This one, I think, is a name that makes other directors and people step up and take notice, going, "Oh, Ernest Dickerson's doing it." So really accomplished director.
Yeah, really impressive impressive credits. Busy guy. Like a lot of TV episodes. You're shooting those into a few weeks, but not often you see a director with there's over 70 series credits on his IMDb.
Everybody wants them.
Yeah, very accomplished. It's not a name I knew, but that's a great pedigree.
Yeah, no, just awesome. Yeah, he's a name I knew. He shows up in some documentaries and stuff like that, talking about horror.
Oh, okay.
And that's where I first kind of got, and I noticed his name on The Walking Dead back when I used to watch it.
Tell us what happens in The V Word.
All right. You know what? If you've seen Fright Night, kind of seen this movie. It's a couple kids, one fighting with his father, decide they're going to explore a mortuary, break in at night. There may have been a cousin who kind of sort of they thought worked there. And guess what? There's freaking vampires. After that, there's a lot of running and chasing and dying and blood and heads being cut off and gore and coolness. I freaking love this. If you like the gore, you're going to like this one. Not to mention pedophile Ironside vampires played by Michael Ironside is awesome.
Michael Ironside, like the two things I loved about this episode were the mood that they set, the atmosphere. I thought was really well done. Felt like an old real horror movie, And Michael Ironside chewing up doing his best Jack Nicholson as the Joker, basically. Chewing up the scenery as the vampire. Just awesome.
Well, this is the first time I've actually seen this one, which is the first time with any of these master horrors, I can say that. I skipped it because typically the weakest episode in any anthology, I believe, is the vampire episode. And at the time, for me, Ernest Dickerson wasn't a draw. So I skipped it. And I wasn't looking forward to this rewatch or this first watch. But man, this kind of burns. I really like this episode.
Interesting. I found it a little slow in the first half. But Michael Ironside, it was interesting when they bring in Michael Ironside because he doesn't talk the first section he's in. And I'm like, do you really hire Michael Ironside, put him in a lot of makeup and then not have him chew up the scenery? Because that's his thing. Like, that's his deal. He's just that walking around.
Oh, don't worry. He gets there.
He does. I mean, Ironside was. I didn't know anything going into this, and I definitely didn't know. I love Michael Ironside, and when he showed up, um, I'm going to give Michael Ironside the Canada spotting of this. He is a Canadian treasure, and also the depth of his horror experience. One of his first films being Scanners, David Cronenberg's Scanners. Like he's definitely got the cred going into this, and he just I think some of the challenge that I had with the episode is that no one could play his level because he's just so big.
Has he ever played a vampire before? Because watching this, it seems like such a no-brainer that that's all he should play. He was just kind of awesome in this.
I'd look at his IMDb to see if he did, but I only have a couple hours.
In the 274 acting credits on there right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a busy dude, but he's just such a great villain.
I'm gonna guess yes.
Yeah, let's just assume yes, and you could write in the comments below your favorite Michael Ironside as a vampire. It is an interesting time of vampire portrayal because this is a really violent, like almost zombie type vampire. Like that's my second favorite after Michael Ironside part of this is the effects of this are really, really good. There's a point where with a throat torn out and it looks like there's a chunk of throat missing. Like they really nailed it. And like some of the dead effects are like really, really strong in this.
And I don't think this is a spoiler. I kind of like the fact that everyone who's a dick in this dies. It almost plays out like a more morality play where these young kids are fighting who they want to become, and the whole vampire thing is secondary. Like, you're gonna suffer if you're a bad person, and if you're a good person, well, you're either gonna die by a vampire bite or become a vampire. I kind of dig that, like, black and white morality of this picture. Plus, I mean, it's just running around from a vampire. That's cool.
Yeah, when it's done right, that is cool. Like I say, I like the atmosphere, the way it was lit, and all. I think it was just really well directed.
Oh, and like little touches when the kid runs into his home, and the first thing he does is turn on all the lights. There's like 10 lamps he turns on when he runs in there. And it makes no sense logically, but emotionally you kind of get why you do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is just so brilliant. I loved it.
There's one part that really made me laugh. It is probably a realistic depiction of what you would do in a like a run from a monster situation. What just made me laugh was the two guys are trying to escape from the mortuary, and our hero gets to the door and the door's locked, and Michael Ironside's bearing down on them, and I went back through it because he's standing next to a big stained glass window, but he keeps trying the door and not trying anything, not trying any other solution to the problem facing him. I counted that he tried to force the door 3 times and rattled the handle 14.
Wow, that's awesome.
I'm sure in a panic situation that's exactly what happens, but it just like it was because you have the Michael Ironside attacking the second person part while that's going on, but you just keep hearing the door rattle in the background. I just loved it.
The one thing that I didn't think worked as well, I think they were trying to hit that emotional thing of the son and the father and how he was a disappointment to him and all that. I don't think that worked quite as well as they wanted it to, but I think the kills were a standout in this one.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more to like than there is to complain about. We're not going to sit here, I don't think, and complain about the plot holes in this one like we did in the last episode.
No, I think it's I think it like I said, I think the pace was the only thing I was so on. But I think the second half really moves. And I do think that they're maybe starting where they did, it's missing a bit of oomph, but they do a lot in this episode. Like they get a lot done. And if this was a movie, you would have a little more time to kind of, establish his dad and, have seen his dad earlier and that kind of thing.
And I think they could have developed the Michael Ironside was a pedophile before he was a vampire, and he's sort of trying to, I think he was trying to create some sort of vampire harem or something.
That it is a weird bit where he tells his backstory.
Yeah. I do like how they don't get into like the whole vampire thing. It's just like, yeah, I went through some shit.
It's funny that like he's eating people, and that's like, but we've got to show that he's not a good person.
Yeah, so we want to drive that home.
We want to nail that he's a bad person.
By the way, Michael Ironside is in a film called Bloodsuckers. We're adding this to our watch list now. It's 4.3 out of 10.
Oh, nice.
It is Intergalactic Vampire Hunters. Buffy meets Star Trek in a Mad Max world. That's a must-see.
What was the title there again?
Bloodsuckers.
Bloodsuckers.
Yes, with our friend Michael Ironside. I mean, anytime you mix in 2 sentences 3 movies to describe one movie, you got me.
That's a strong pitch.
I would probably lay money, just knowing the title, that Julie Strain is in that movie.
AJ Cook is.
Okay.
What year did that bad boy come out?
2005.
2005, because there's a surprising number of films called Bloodsucker.
What a surprise!
and some of them are not all audiences. Just that the photo that
also
has
It also is known as Vampire Wars: Battle for the Universe, making me want to see it even more.
We may have to come back to recording the episode.
That's awesome.
That is an incredible title. That is an unbelievable title.
Oh, tremendous.
I want to bring up the kind of hidden master, or little master, little master of horror. The actress who plays his younger sister, Lisa, is about 10 or 11, has a really impressive. She had a really impressive resume at the time she was doing this. When she was about 10, she had already been in
Silent Hill.
Yeah, she was already in Silent Hill. She's on the poster for Silent Hill. And she played the young version, the young Carrie in the 2002 remake. Also done a few other horror, Secret of Hidden Lake and Seed, about the same time as this. Like a lot of working actor in Vancouver parts. Her Cabin in the Woods was one of the ones that she's best known for. She was one of the Buckners, the family, the cannibal family that gets raised in Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. She was good in that, so because she was scared when she was supposed to be scared, and I got a chuckle about her little finger thing. She felt like a little sister.
Yeah, that was funny, and unexpected. That's why it was so funny. What's she done in the last 3-4 years? Anything of note?
She did a long sci-fi TV series called Dark Matter.
Oh, I saw that. I like that show. I don't remember her in it.
She has like green or blue hair in it.
She'd be she'd be a grown-up then. So
yeah,
maybe you wouldn't
94. I think
recognize
she
her.
was born in. Yeah, 94. So yeah, she'd be in her 30s when she, which I know is hard to believe. But,
Yeah, here's Washington.
not 30s, I guess late 20s.
Yeah, I don't know what else there is to say about it. Great kills, second half really strong, well directed, nice performances, fun episode. Great for the gore hounds. Favorite kill, anybody? Where the throat gets ripped out? I mean, that one big stand out.
I think it's not the kill itself. It's the when his buddy is has the wrap around his neck, and then he pulls the bandage off for that reveal of the ripped out neck. Like that's the best shot in the episode.
I disagree. I like the splash on the decapitation.
Oh, nice. That was gross.
Yeah.
That was gross.
Because I mean that was genuinely like yucky. I mean, it wasn't blood coming out of that vampire. It was like black.
That was your Iker. That was some serious gore coming out of there. that was indeed very yucky. But just, yeah, a well crafted episode for sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's one I would watch again. I do believe.
It's funny, there aren't that many just gore movies like that are just fun. They're kind of my favorite, where you're not scared, but you're just waiting for the next like gross thing to happen. Yeah, no, I really liked it.
Well, a great venue for that. We were talking about the many credits of this director, but there's not a lot of opportunity for this kind of effects and horror. A lot of the horror that he's done like since and before was like more of the, aside from Demon Knight, more of the cerebral type, like a bunch of episodes of Dexter kind of thing. But this is I think every horror director wants one of these like just wrap a story around a bunch of effects kind of stories.
Yeah, that's probably why you took it.
I dug it. And well, looking at the number of jobs he's taken, I think that the check cleared is probably why he took
it. You're making him sound like a hack. No, I mean everything he's worked on is not at all. He's got kind of high budget.
He has one of the most in a series called Masters of Horror. He has one of the most impressive resumes of the folks we've seen. I got doing 8 or 10 episodes of like 6 or 8 episodes or whatever of The Wire, and you can probably just like leave that as your resume. So, all right. Well, that wraps up the V word. And for those playing at home, the V word was vampire. And
I just got that.
Another one I have a problem with the title, because I did not go immediately vampire, but
especially when you start with two dudes, like two high school dudes in a room. I thought they were college, but like I thought it was a college dorm, but two young dudes, one playing video games, and it's called the V word. Like, yeah, like clearly this is some kind of is it a succubus story? Is it like a what are we in for here? Well, I like to go into these as cold as possible. Speaking of going into the next episode we will be watching is season 2, episode 4, Sounds Like. And we've been loving this ride through the Masters of Horror. We've still got about about 10 to go, 9 or 10 to go, and you can support our journey as voyeurs into the unknown on Patreon. Just search for Cult Film Showdown. We're also on Instagram, and on YouTube. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Tell us your favorite Michael Ironside vampire role, because in 274 there's got to be more than two. And we're sponsored by.
He was in another one, but I don't think he played a vampire. But it was a Dracula movie.
I don't think he. Yes, he was in that, but I think you're right that he doesn't play a vampire. But every Michael Ironside movie is worth watching. He says, not guaranteeing refunds.
Michael Ironside's parts are always worth watching.
Yes.
Not the entire movie.
Yeah. Yeah, he's one of those actors like Michael Perry that I'll fast forward to his scenes, but not necessarily watch the whole thing. All right, Masters of Horror. We will talk to you next time.